What is up, YouTube? If you know what that is sitting on my kitchen counter, then you know what this means. That's right, I got a roll of duct tape today, and scotch tape as well as a few other things. But anyway, I've done a little more progress on the laser rifle. I've added more bracing to the stock, another sheet of cardboard that doesn't have a seam in the middle, as well as I braced the hand guard and trigger guard more. Not just braced with duct tape on the hand guard, I added some thin plastic boardy pieces inside. And the trigger guard, as well as underneath the forward hand guard, has more tape bracing to make it a little sturdier, as well as hold it centered, a little more centered. And as well as the tubing on the bottom. I found a tube, cut it down to fit right in between here, and made the brackets holding it into place. The way I did that was right here in the forward handguard. I taped it to it a bunch of times, made sure it was really on there solid. It's not going anywhere. I mean, I could pick it up by it, give it a good shake. That fucking microfusion cell, right? If it doesn't stay in on its own, I'm going to flip out, because I also taped the MF cell well. The front fin, the front two little fins, rather, that is holding the tubing into place, small slits were cut out into the box. You can't see it well on the camera, but that's not a slit. It's just a little rippet piece. I then slid them in and taped them only on the outside for right now, because I'm still trying to find a way to get into this thing. I mean, the only access I have to the inside is through the MF cell. So I'm probably, before I start any decorations on the very front of the muzzle, I'm going to have to find a way to take this piece out and then do extra supportive work on the insides. As well as, if you didn't notice, I added the muzzle to the front end of the barrel. I did the two indents like I said I was going to, but I could have been more pleased with those. This side is kind of bad. The other one, not so much. It's just they're a slight little bit crooked, but nothing a little more cutting can't do. I mean, I wanted to get them really thin because I knew I would mess up at one point or another, and now I can go through and etch it out and then clean it up, make it look nice. The progress I have remaining now is the wiring along the top. If you don't remember my last video, I discussed it. This Sharpie line, and then yes, it smudged, still is smudged. I'm going to run it back to the MF cell. As well as I want to make the rounded off end cap. So when the MF cell is in there, there's normally this sort of dome piece that goes into the box to make it run smoothly. I am aware my MF cell is backwards, but I'm going to do the forward will be positive and the rear will be negative. So far, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I also added way more bracing to the top of the stock. It's not too even, again, but it is just cardboard. The part on the stock that's the cheek rest, right? Yes, cheek rest. My mind just blanked on that for a minute. The cheek rest was added on with a bunch of tape, and it was just sort of folded along the stock. Last night the stock was cut out a lot more roughly than it is now. I mean, right now it's pretty good. I wanted to sort of capture the curve a little more. I mean, I know this is supposed to come like straight down and then subtly etch off, but cutting this piece of cardboard was tricky. Right now, that is all my progress. I do plan to add the trigger mechanism, get this thing painted, add the rear cuff box cuff, and then the knobs and switches, as well as that hilarious frigging power switch that's somewhere around here. I mean, it would be like here right above the trigger, and then right about here would be where the latch goes to hold the MF cell into place. That's it for now for all my progress. Keep posting in to see how we're doing on getting along with the AER9 laser rifle from Fallout 4, or any Fallout game for that matter. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment to tell me what you think.